Let's straight away cut across to the event where RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan is in conversation with Randall Krosner, Chanda Kochar, Shobna Bhatia and Arun Myra.
India is, as you know, going through a period of turmoil where growth has slowed. We're, I think, in the process of stabilizing. But there's a lot going on in the economy. And perhaps we can start by talking a little bit about the Indian economy, move on to the global economy and the interactions, and then talk about the big uncertainty that faces us over the next few months, which is elections. And we'll bring in Shobna at that point to talk a little bit about it. So perhaps we can start with the economy itself. Chanda, what do you see? What do you think is going to happen? What are your worries? What are your hopes?
Well, I think India has always had two drivers of growth: the demographics and opportunity to invest. And while demographics continues to remain our fundamental strength and has the potential even going forward, currently it's really the investment driver that has slowed down substantially. And the slowdown in the investment driver is not because there are no demands for the produce from the projects that would be set up, but it's really because decision making in the country has slowed down, approvals are not coming on time and so on. So I think the big challenge and the requirement rather for the economy is to revive the investment driver. But if you look at the past 6 months or so, I think actually some positive steps have been taken. There's a whole lot of anxiety and acceptance in the form of the government to start giving some approvals. I think the country's done very good work under the leadership of RBI to actually bring the current account deficit under control, to bring the exchange rate in stability. The fiscal deficit part is actually now looking much to be within the targets. The export-oriented industries are doing better. So I would say that we probably bottomed out as far as the GDP growth is concerned. But each of these factors that are looking good today cannot really revive the economy in a very big way unless we really bring back investments. So I think, the fact that agriculture is so far doing okay, the fact that export-oriented industries have started doing better, will take us for some time, but the big revival in the economy can really come out of reviving investments. And for that, really, there is, focused decision-making environment and a facilitative environment that the country needs to create.
Arun, you've said again and again that jobs are what we need to be focused on. Entrepreneurship, jobs. How do you see that happening over the next few years? What do we need to do? And how do we go about it?
Let me connect with what Chanda just said. Yes, for jobs we're going to need investments, and we're going to need productive enterprises that will create jobs and attract more investments. And investments are not coming today. And I just want to go to refer to V.S. Naipaul actually, and he's reflected on India in a rather cynical way perhaps, and wrote the books which perhaps helped him to get the Nobel Prize also. India, an area of darkness, India, a wounded civilization. Then in the early 1990s, he said, India, a million mutinies now. This release of energy in this country, which has helped us along. But if V.S. Naipaul were to write a book about India today, he'd call it India, a million bottlenecks now. Why are these bottlenecks arising is the question. And because the bottlenecks are coming in our projects, for example, we're not getting investments. It's not a matter of no money available to invest in infrastructure, but people have invested in infrastructure and found that their projects are stuck in power infrastructure, road infrastructure. So you're not drawing in more investment. The same true for manufacturing more recently. Activities are slowing down, they're stuck. So what are the brakes on activity in the country? There is a lot of contention in almost everything. It's as a million mutinies or bottlenecks now in everything. Projects are stuck because stakeholders on the environment side or the land side and the investor, there's no agreement. And our big projects in the East and elsewhere also are stuck for similar reasons. The stakeholders cannot come to an agreement. And we are referring all these misunderstandings, disagreements higher up, and the political system cannot resolve so many things up there which need to be resolved in these places where these bottlenecks